The Eras Tour has finally begun, and if you're anything like me, you're not going.
Don't worry, girl. I got your back. From right here.
But last week, I did make a video kind of trying to predict what the set list was gonna look like. And weirdly enough, I actually wasn't like super far off. And I have to say the set list is really awesome, but there were some kind of interesting choices that she made there, so let's talk about it. In my predictions, I talked about how I thought she would maybe go era by era chronologically. Now, of course, she didn't go in chronological order, but she did go era by era. So the entire show is kind of split up into smaller sections, going album by album. Surprisingly, she started with the Lover era. I think this was her way of kind of just like taking off where she left off. Because of course, due to the pandemic, we never got the Lover Fest, so maybe this was just her way of starting off from that point. So let's take a closer look at the songs that she chose for the Lover section of the show. She opened with Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. Then she went on to play Cruel Summer, followed by The Man, You Need to Come Down, Lover, and The Archer. I found it quite interesting that she decided to start off the show with Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. I somehow always thought I Think He Knows sounds more like an opener song for a show, but I don't know. I also just really like that song, so maybe that was me hoping she would play that. Personally here, I do think we got robbed a little bit of Death by a Thousand Cuts, which she must have known that people were desperate to sing with her. I feel like I would have rather had Death by a Thousand Cuts or Cornelia Street over The Man or You Need to Calm Down, or even Lover and The Archer, but of course she needs to play the hits, the singles. I think we were just all thrilled to see that she included Cruel Summer for us, because that was one of the big ones that we really wanted. I also really love the way she did the extended intro to Miss Americana before she comes on stage, where she kind of did this concept that I talked about in my other video of having a song playing, but then having kind of like different elements from different songs. Following the Lover era, she decided to jump into Fearless, so obviously she's not just taking off where she left off, because otherwise she would have gone into Folklore. But anyway, for Fearless, we got probably what we were all expecting. She opened it with Fearless, then played You Belong With Me, and finished with Love Story. I think it would have been really cool to get Forever and Always or Mr. Perfectly Fine, but we did get a 3-hour show when we were expecting a 2-hour show, so we can't complain. From here, she moved on to Evermore, where she shocked fans left and right by the amount of tracks from Evermore that she decided to play. She even addressed the fact that fans on TikTok say that she doesn't like Evermore and that it's her least favorite album, and she says that she really loves it and that she watches everything that we say on TikTok.
We're currently in the middle of the Evermore album, which is an album I absolutely love, despite what some of you say on TikTok. I've seen it. I've seen all of it.
So with Evermore, she opened up with 'Tis the Damn Season, which I was surprised that she didn't open with Willow, but of course that was followed by Willow. And she went on to play Marjorie, which I think it's kind of an interesting choice because I wouldn't say that that was a fan favorite or one of the songs that I saw people really like hoping that she would include in the set list. Of course, though, she included that for herself and as a tribute to her grandmother. Then she went on to play Champagne Problems, which was one of the songs that we were all very, very, very excited to hear in this tour, so I'm really happy that she included it. And then she closed with Tolerated. As far as the Evermore section goes, I think I would have really have wanted her to play Happiness or Cowboy Like Me. But like I said, it was a 3-hour show, so we cannot complain. We already got way more songs that we bargained for. And then she moved on to Reputation, where of course she opened that section up with Ready For It because there was no other way to open the section up. Then she performed Delicate, followed by Don't Blame Me, which is one of my favorite songs. So I am just so happy that this made it onto the set list. So now I just have to pray that she actually does come to Europe so that I can experience this firsthand. Then she closed off the segment with Look What You Made Me Do, which was a really defining song for that era. I think some people are probably upset to not see Getaway Car anywhere on here, but for me, it's like as long as we have Don't Blame Me, I have zero complaints on the Reputation era. Then the Speak Now era arrived, and it was very short-lived because she actually only performed one song, which was the right song because she performed Enchanted. So if I was gonna pick just one song from Speak Now, probably it would have been this one. But it was just funny to see so many people on TikTok saying like, oh yeah, so Evermore is not her least favorite album, it's Speak Now. From here, she moved on to Red, which she opened with her song 22, which to me was also kind of surprising. I was actually not expecting 22 to make an appearance on the set list at all. What do you guys think about that being her choice of opening song for that era? Then she performed We Are Never Getting Back Together and I Knew You Were Trouble. And finally, she answered the age-old question, will she play All Too Well? Will she play the 10-minute version? Will she play the normal version? Will she play some kind of arrangement to make the 10 version shorter, but we hear the new parts of it? But anyway, she ended up playing the whole 10 minutes, which is wild, but amazing that she did that. And then she moved on to Folklore, where again we got a lot more songs that I think we were expecting. She opened with a short video where she's reciting the lyrics of Seven. And then she moved on to Invisible String, which I really love that song, so I was very happy to see that one making it onto the set list. We didn't get our medley of Betty, August, and Cardigan, but kind of got one better because she played the entire songs, which of course when we were predicting set lists, I don't think any of us were anticipating a 3-hour show, so we were all kind of trying to keep it to 2 hours. She also played The Last Great American Dynasty, Illicit Affairs, and My Tears Ricochet. Also, My Tears Ricochet is another one of my favorite songs on Folklore, so I was very happy to see that one making it on there because I somehow didn't expect that one to be on here. Like, as far as live performances go, I would have expected maybe the one over this one, but I am not complaining. I love it, so I'm happy that it's there. Then she finally arrived at 1989, where she played all the singles except what I think was the most anticipated one. She opened with Style, followed it by Blank Space, Shake It Off, Wildest Dreams, and Bad Blood. Personally, I think we could have done without Bad Blood and just having Out of the Woods instead, especially like the ending part of the song with the bridge. Everybody loves that bridge, so I do think we got robbed a little bit there. Then she went on to introduce the surprise song concept, where for every show she does, she's going to be playing a different song. For the opening night, she decided to play Mirror Ball, and then went on to perform Tim McGraw, which is of course her very first single ever, so it's only appropriate. But then she didn't play any other songs from her debut album. So really, Speak Now and Debut were the ones getting the least amount of love. Not to mention that at this point when I'm filming this, the second night of the tour has already happened, and we know that she actually cut out Tim McGraw from the second night. So for that show, there were no no debut songs. But she did replace Tim McGraw for another surprise song. So hey, maybe she's gonna be doing 2 surprise songs in some of the shows. On the second night, she performed This Is Me Trying and State of Grace. After this, she moved on to the final section of the show, Midnights. She obviously opened up this section with Lavender Haze. I think there was no other way that she was gonna do this. Then she performed Anti-Hero, followed by Midnight Rain, which I was very happy to see on the set list, because that is one of my favorite tracks on the album, and I just wasn't expecting it at all. She also played Vigilante Shit, which I think is a great song, so very cool to see that. She followed this with Bejeweled, then Mastermind, and finished off on Karma. What was crazy is that for the performance of Bejeweled, she did the TikTok dance. So to Michael, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but like, that's amazing. I'm really excited for you. Can you imagine you make a TikTok dance and then it becomes part of the choreography for Taylor Swift's Eras tour? Like, that's just wild. Now, of course, Mastermind is not really my favorite song on Midnight. I would have preferred to have Maroon or You're On Your Own Kid. But anyway, like I said, we got a 3-hour show, so we don't complain around here, even though I'm kind of doing that. Overall, it was such an incredible show. Some of the transitions she did between songs were just crazy. Like, between Don't Blame Me and Look What You Made Me Do, that was such a cool transition. Or between Tim McGraw and Midnights, she did this kind of dive under the stage. I don't know, it was just really cool. Not to mention all the amazing outfits that she wore and how many outfit changes she had. And on the second night of tour, she even had different outfits from the first night. So I'm curious if she's gonna have just like 2 sets of outfits, or if she's gonna constantly be giving us new outfits as well. So the 2 songs that I really thought would make it on the set list but didn't make it onto the set list were Out of the Woods and Death by a Thousand Cuts. But of course, those tracks will eventually be surprise songs probably. What did you guys think about the set list? Was there something that you wanted to see there that wasn't there? Was there something that surprised you and you were very happy to see there? Let me know below, because I love talking about this stuff. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you want to hang out again, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!